Yo, it's Dave. If you're going to architecture school, you need supplies. In this video, I'm gonna break down the top 10 supplies that I think you're gonna need for your first year of architecture school. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the first thing I would say that you need is your rulers. Okay, so there's about 3 types of rulers that I use on like a daily basis when I do my architecture work, which is the architecture ruler, an 18-inch ruler, and a T-square. An architecture ruler. So this is pretty important when you're doing different scalings on your projects. The architecture ruler pretty much includes any scale that you would need to draw in, like 1/4, 1/8. And then finally your T-square. Once you get to drafting, you're gonna need one of these things. I have mine in a 36-inch, which I would recommend in getting, but I would also recommend getting one in the 24-inch just in case for smaller drawings. Okay, so next are your triangles. And so there's about 4 or 5 different types of triangles that I use on a normal day basis. Here is your 45-90 degree triangle. This is your 30-60 triangle. And if you need anything in between of that, it's your adjustable triangle, which can get you pretty much any angle. So me personally, I would buy different sizes of each of the triangles. I have one bigger one for if I need to do one continuous line, and then one smaller one for smaller lines. Okay, pencils and pens. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with your drafting pencil. This is very important when you're drafting. You're gonna get nice crisp lines, sharp lines, and you should only use drafting pencils for drafting, nothing else. For your sketching pencils, for me, I want to have a ton of variety when it comes to sketching. If I want a nice thin light line, I want a pencil that can do that. And if I want a heavy dark line, I want a pencil that can also do that, and anything in between. Pencils that you're going to be drawing with the most though are probably going to be HB and B, so I would recommend getting a pack of those of its own. And then with pens, I would do the same thing that you do with the sketching pencils. Get a lot of variety with these. You want to be able to draw thin lines, you want to be able to draw heavy lines. So just get a ton of these because they run through super fast, especially when you're drafting, or eventually when you're going to be sketching with them, you're just gonna run through these like crazy. When going to circle templates, you're again gonna need a lot of these. You're gonna need a lot of variety of these. For smaller size circles, you wanna get a smaller circle template. For bigger size circles, you're gonna need a bigger sized circle template. But if you need an even bigger one, you're going to need a compass. This allows you to draw any size circle that you would want. But me personally, I would prefer to use a circle template just because you're going to get a perfect circle no matter what, and you're able to do it like that. With the compass, it takes a little bit getting used to, and sometimes circles don't come out perfect, and it takes a little bit of adjusting to get the size that you want. So this wouldn't be my first bet going to. Okay, so when going to paper, you need like a lot of variety of paper, not just like a normal printing sheet of paper. Sketchbook, would recommend getting a 9x12 sketchbook and at least 70-pound paper. The pound of paper basically just means how thick the actual piece of paper is. The lighter pound, the thinner it is. The heavier the pound, the thicker it is. For sketching, I would recommend getting 70 to 80. For the next thing, and you don't need it right away, but I would get a smaller sized sketchbook as well. This is good for when you're out going on field trips or just a little bit of sketching in your own when you're out and about. It's good to carry this around, way lighter and easier than a 9x12 sketchbook. When you're doing drafting, you're gonna need one of these, an 18x24 drawing pad. You're never really gonna freehand on this unless you're cutting down the paper, but you just definitely need one of these, and at least with 70-pound paper as well. And then when moving to vellum, this is 16-pound paper, so it's gonna be really light and almost transparent. You again wanna get this in 24 inches, but they usually come in 5 yards, 10 yards. I got 2 5 yards, and they're probably gonna last me about the next year and a half or so. So I would definitely recommend getting this pretty quick because they, 1, sell out fast, and 2, they're very expensive. So I would just get them early, be prepared. And then for erasers, erasers are pretty simple, just like erasers. I guess I would prefer getting white erasers over like the normal pinkish erasers just because it's easier to clean, I guess. But something that I highly recommend you getting is these little mechanical erasers. So I didn't have these my entire first semester, and when I got these my second semester, it was such a game changer. With these big erasers, you're more than likely gonna erase lines that you don't mean to erase, and you have to redraw them, and then something happens, and then something else happens where you have to erase something else, and then you have to redraw those other lines. With this, you get to specifically choose what lines you want to erase, and it just removes those lines because the eraser is super small. And then it's not an eraser, but you need this for erasing, is this dust brush. Super useful because obviously when you're an architect, you're going to be drawing a lot and you're going to be erasing a lot as well. And so you need something to clear off what's left of the eraser on your paper. So you just use this brush and it cleans all of it off pretty smoothly. Okay, so next is your carry supplies. So you're going to want to get a bag like this. It's 24 by 36 and pretty much you just get to shove everything in there all at once, so you just don't have to carry multiple things in your hand. Super useful, but get a nice one. This one that I got was like $20 and it broke in like 2 different spots, and now I have to buy a new one and I have to spend more money, which I don't like doing. Also, something I would recommend is from the description, these little zippers. They seem awesome. I don't have them. I'm going to buy them though because I liked how they look. Pretty much where you can just fit in different things and stuff like that for the smaller stuff, for your triangles, circle templates, rulers, sketchbook, all of that stuff. I put everything in this blue briefcase, which is a little bit inconvenient because it just, I feel like I just look funny in this. So yeah, these zippers on Amazon look pretty good, so I'm gonna try them out. Okay, so the next thing that you're gonna need is your tape. Any drafting tape will work, blue, white, doesn't really matter. But something that I would highly recommend getting is these little drafting dots. So I ran out of mine, so I don't have an example to show you, but they're basically the size of your thumb. So when you're sticking it to your drafting paper, it takes up very little space, it sticks well, and when you need to remove it, it comes off very nicely, doesn't leave any marks on your paper, and it's just the way to go, honestly. Okay, so number 9 is basically for your models and stuff like that, and that's gonna be your X-Acto knife. You're gonna be cutting a lot of cardboard and a lot of materials, so you're gonna need an X-Acto knife like this. Get one with multiple blades because you're gonna run through those things like crazy. I would also recommend getting a variety size of X-Acto knives just for harder cut materials and stuff like that. Also gonna need like cardboard and like a lot of it. Get thin pieces of cardboard, variety of sizes as well, but you want to buy these. Get nice ones because when it comes to modeling, you don't want to have cardboard that you found in the trash can that's all torn up. Doesn't look good. Oh, and for the last one is tech gear. For this one, I'm actually not going to provide anything. And the reason for that is because I don't recommend on getting a new laptop, getting an iPad for your first year of architecture school. You're most likely not going to really use it at all in your first year, primarily in that first semester. The last thing that you want to do is kind of panic buy before your first semester starts, and then you don't even end up using something that you spend $2,000 on, $3,000 on, and the specifications for that laptop or iPad or anything that you buy isn't even right. It's something I would definitely wait on to see what your professor says and recommends. But till you need a laptop, until you need one, I would just wait on buying one. But yeah guys, those are the 10 most important things I think you need for your first year of architecture school. If you like this video, you want to see more, like and subscribe. This has been Dave. Peace.